Good morning, everybody. So grateful to have everybody here this morning with me for day 2 of the Love Mastery game. Very, very excited to be here. This week we are exploring the ancestors and the four directions. And the four directions and the ancestors are pretty much the place you start when you want to work learning the beauty way, learning how to navigate your life according to beauty, according to connection to this earth realm, this earth place, what the Caro Nation, the indigenous people in Peru, call Pachamama, and what other indigenous tribes call Madre Tierra, Mother Earth. And it's this basic construct. Sorry, I've got something on my lip. There's this basic construct that starts with the ancestors, of course, because that is us. We talked about that yesterday. And then the four directions. And the four directions are like a compass and a container all at the same time. So you could think of it like it's a navigation system from the inside, and that each of these four directions, they have different gifts and blessings for you on your soul's journey, and they bring different medicine to you. We talked about the use of the word medicine yesterday. It's medicine in the beauty way is something that supports you in expanding yourself and understanding yourself better, in having more grace and ease through your day. These are ways that you can understand yourself. The container is built by the four directions: the south, the west, the north, and the east, and also the earth below, and father sky, and the stars above, the sun and the moon above. So that is the full container, is also below and above. And right now, we're working this week with understanding the four sides of the container, the directions that also, as I said, give you inner navigation. And each have their own gifts and blessings. So the South is where we start the container in South American tradition. So in North American tradition, they often start with the East. So you'll see them opening sacred space and opening the directions by calling in the East. So when we open sacred space, we're creating that container I talked about. We're calling in the sides of the container, the directions. We're calling in the bottom of the container, Mother Earth, and we're calling in the top of the container. So we're creating a box all around us with sides that is supportive beings of light to help us navigate our day with more grace and ease, or maybe to answer a question, as we're going to do this morning. So we're going to start by calling in the south. And so, in a traditional opening sacred space from the South America, we start with the south. So we'll start with that today. So we welcome the south. We welcome you, south, to help us to feel very present in our bodies with whatever is happening right now for us as we watch this broadcast back or we engage in it live. Help us to be in the present moment. Help us to feel the breath as we breathe in and as we exhale. Help us to feel our skin. Help us to feel if our hands are warm or cool. And help us to feel all the way down to our toes. Are our toes warm or cool? As we take a deep breath in our belly, help us feel our belly expand. Help us to notice ourselves when to the south. Help us to notice the way our body feels. Help us to notice where our attention is in any one given moment. Help us to be very present in our lives, because if we're not present, we'll miss the beauty. Thank you so much, South, for reminding us that we are timeless beings having an experience of time on earth, and that we are infinite beings having an experience as human on earth. And so, South, thank you for bridging us, those two realities. Thank you for bridging our spirit side, and our physical side, and our eternal side, and our temporary side. Thank you for bridging so that we can really experience this South. Thank you so much. And of course, we'll be learning more about the South in the upcoming Sacred Living with the Four Directions, and you'll be running an experiment to work with the South. It's super fun. But for today, on your little sheet of paper, you will mark on the top line, what is your inquiry today? I desire help with this inquiry today. Just take a moment and write down a question or a situation that you'd like some insight or healing even with. Okay, and then to my aid comes South. South is our ally today. And who offer me what medicine? And so take a moment and just write down from all the things I said, what do you think the medicine is? And I can read to you also what it says on the actual allies sheet. It says, the winds of the south offer us a supportive container for living our lives, connected to the earth and filled with love. The south can help your soul to fully embody and relax your nervous system to receive. And so that's really a blessing of the south. So whatever medicine feels like relevant from all the things that were said. And now just drop into your body with your inquiry and the South medicine and hear a number, just a number from 1 to 12. Just receive that number now. It's usually the first one that comes. And this is your state of being. And so I'm going to hold this up and hopefully you can see. As I said, you can also just pull up your own copy to see what the number was that you got. Okay. All right. I got number 6, inspired action. Okay, so write that on your state of being line. They invite me to, Winds of the South invites me to be in whatever you're invited to be. I'm invited to be in inspired action. As I master, and this is the principle of mastery, so listen for a number. Usually the first number that comes in. Good. I got mine. Hopefully you have yours. And now find it on this sheet of paper. If I'm holding it up straight, I can't see it. There we go. You can also pull up your version. Okay, and then write that on the As I Master Principle of Mastery line. And I got number 8, aligning and refining. This is so accurate. I've been being realigned and refined since the beginning of 2022. How about you? It could be a fun process or a painful one, your choice. I'm choosing fun. Okay. Therefore, I am. So let's just take a moment and close your eyes and imagine that we're in the middle of a sanctuary surrounded by the old oak trees, the wise ones, the ancient ones, with their thick trunks and their roots stretching deep into the earth underneath us, their branches reaching high overhead, joining me in a circle in the middle of the sanctuary as we receive the south. And you have your messages of states of being and principles, and you have your inquiry questions. So just sit for a moment in contemplation with the south. Okay, now come back and write down what you received on your sheet of paper. And what I want to offer you today is I know the world is not what it used to be. It's very different. Things have changed, and they're not going back. So we're not going back to normal, the normal that we all knew pre-COVID. It's not happening. So how can we be in a new normal together? How can we co-create that? And that's, for me, exactly why the four directions are so powerful, and the ancestors, because they help us to navigate life in a whole new way. The kind of way that's the soul way, spirit way, where we go from day to day and we're not really sure what's going to happen today, and we know we're safe and held and everything is beautiful all day long. It can help you feel really, really grounded to work with the South, which is why we're going to be working with the South for an entire week. Coming up in the Sacred Living with the Four Directions class starts in May 15th on Sunday. We're going to have 3 to 4 Central, and it'll be recorded. Although it's great to have the experience together, much longer experience than we can do on these short calls. Working with the South has been a really powerful experience in my life because I realized I wasn't really present with so much of the things that were going on in my life. I was coping, I was getting by, I was getting the kids here, there, and everywhere to the things that they needed to go to. I was achieving my milestones at work. I was, having fun going on vacations, and I thought that I was doing really well. But then when things happened that were outside of my control or outside of my expectation, I would react. And I would react in ways I didn't really like. And then I would realize how much of my time, I started realizing how much of the time I was lost in my mind, like in some sort of puzzling through something, or lost in my mind and daydreaming about something that happened before that I wish would happen again, or daydreaming about what it might be like to go on this next journey or someplace in the future. Like I was spending so much time in the past and in the future, I wasn't in the present to really actually receive the presence of the presence. If you know what I mean, it's a huge gift to be present and receive everything that's happening in the moment. That's where the magic and the mystery opens up. That's where the dream state is. And I'll just share with you, I was just talking with somebody really dear to me the other day, and she told me that for the first time in her life, she feels like there's this thing happening with her grasp on reality. Like it used to be very controlled and very sure and very hard and clear, and this way that she knew how to navigate reality is now shimmering and softening, and it feels like kind of like a fog or a soft gaze, or out of control somehow, but not necessarily bad, just different. And that opening, if you're experiencing that, that's the opening to the beauty way. That's the opening to the south, the west, the north, and the east, the earth, the ancestors, the stars above. That's the opening to a new way of being. And so there's nothing out of place. Everything is exactly perfect. And if that's happening to you, I hear that it could be disorienting. And I like to give you this other word, reorienting. As I said, realigning. I think I shared with you. Realigning, aligning, and refining. Reoriented from a pathway of being into a better alignment for clear access to your authentic self. We're being realigned for more beneficial results, because we did the hard-edged reality mental focus thing, and it didn't lead to, it led to a lot of good outcomes, right? But it also led to wars and poverty and disparities between people and nations and cancel culture and a whole lot of things. So we're softening our hearts, we're opening, we're entering a new way of being. I invite you to it. I'll put some information below about how to join us, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow back here in the Love Mastery group for exploring the West, which is also one of my favorite allies. I love all my allies. I love the West too. Thank you, South, for staying with us all day long and creating some magic. And we'll see you all back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central for the West. Bye for now.